Nobody tells you this, but if you keep trading your time for money, you're almost guaranteed to stay broke. And that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Because right now, you're probably doing everything right. You went to school, you got a degree, you found a job, and yet, something still feels off. You work hard, you stay busy, but your bank account doesn't reflect it. So let me ask you something. If hard work alone made people rich, why aren't most hard-working people wealthy? Exactly. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable. You've been sold an equation your entire life, an equation that sounds safe, logical, responsible. Money equals job. Work more hours, earn more money. Simple. Except it's broken, and not just a little broken, completely broken. Because there's a hidden limit built into that equation, and it's the one thing you can never escape. Time. You only have 24 hours in a day. That's it. So if your income depends on your time, your income is automatically capped. And this is where most people lose the game without even realizing they're playing. Let's make it real. Imagine you earn $20 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. That's about $800 a week before taxes. Sounds decent, right? Now, stretch that over years. You might hit $1 million eventually, but here's the catch. That's before expenses, before rent, before food, before inflation slowly eats away your money. So in reality, you spend decades working just to maybe reach financial comfort right when your time is almost gone. Now think about that. You traded your entire life for just enough. And this is where the frustration starts. Because at the same time, you see people your age, younger even, making millions, and it doesn't make sense. So your brain tries to explain it. They got lucky. They had connections. They were born into it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of them weren't. In fact, a huge percentage of wealthy people are self-made. So now the question becomes, what do they understand that you don't? And this is where everything changes. Because the real equation of money is not what you've been taught. It's this. Money flows to value, not effort, not time, value. And this is where most people fail, because they confuse working hard with being valuable. They're not the same thing. Let me explain. There are people working exhausting physical jobs every single day, and they earn very little. Meanwhile, someone sitting behind a laptop can make more in a day than they make in a month. Why? It's not about effort. It's about impact. The market, meaning people, decide what something is worth. And the more people you impact, the more value you create. And the more value you create, the more money flows to you. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because once you understand this, you stop chasing money and you start chasing something else entirely. Problems. Yes, problems. Because every single dollar in existence is tied to a problem being solved. Think about it. Hungry? You pay for food. Bored? You pay for entertainment. Need convenience? You pay for services. Money moves when problems get solved. So if you want more money, you don't need to work harder. You need to solve better problems. And this is the shift that separates employees from creators. Employees trade time. Creators solve problems at scale. Now wait, before your brain jumps to, I need to build the next billion-dollar company, relax. That's not the point. Because this is where most people overthink and quit before they even start. You don't need a massive idea. You need a useful one. Start small. Look around you. What annoys people? What frustrates them? What do they complain about every single day? That's where opportunity lives. But here's the catch. Not all problems are equal. Some problems are small and only affect a few people. Others, they affect millions. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the reward. Now this leads to the next level, scale. Because solving a problem once won't make you rich,
But solving a problem for thousands or millions of people, that's where things change. Let me give you a simple example. If you teach yoga in person, you make money per session. Your income is tied to your time. But if you record a yoga program once and sell it online, now you've broken the time limit. Now you can earn while you sleep. Now your effort multiplies. And this is the difference between a job and a system. Jobs pay you once. Systems pay you repeatedly. And this is where freedom begins. Because the goal was never money. That's the illusion. The real goal is freedom. The ability to wake up and not worry about bills. The ability to choose what you do with your time. The ability to live life on your terms. That's what money represents. But here's the part nobody talks about. The path to that freedom is hard. Really hard. There's uncertainty. There's failure. There's doubt. And most people won't make it. Not because it's impossible, but because they quit too early. They expect quick results. They chase shortcuts. And when it doesn't work instantly, they go back to what feels safe. But safe is exactly what keeps them stuck. So if you're still here, this is the real question. Are you willing to think differently? Are you willing to stop chasing money and start chasing value? Are you willing to look at problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities? Because if you are, then everything changes. You stop being controlled by time. You start building leverage. You stop hoping for money, and you start attracting it. And one day, you wake up and realize you're no longer asking, "Can I afford this?" You're asking, "Do I even want this?" That's the shift. That's the game. And now you see it. So the next time you think about money, don't ask, "How can I earn more?" Ask yourself, "What problem can I solve that actually matters?" Because that question, that's where everything begins.